class. Today's practice is all about gratitude. I find that having a gratitude practice has been really helping me during these rather uncertain times that we're all facing. And even though things are tough and different, I find there's always something to be grateful for. And so it's going to be quite a short, sweet practice, 30 minutes or so. I'm not really using any props, just a cushion. But remember to listen to your body, to have the awareness of what feels right and what doesn't, how far to go, how intense you want the pose to feel, does it feel right? So listen to your body, only take it as far as you need to, adjust as you need to, play around with the variations I suggest, even if you think you know your pose, try something different, might surprise you. But above everything, listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. So come out and you can join us for the next pose or go to different variations that you might know works for you instead. But we are going to begin just seated, whether it's cross-legged or sitting on your heels, however is comfortable for you to be able to just sit with a tall spine. You start to relax the shoulders. You start to relax the jaw, the eyes. And we just try to bring our awareness a little more internal. Start noticing your breath. Start noticing the movement the breath makes, the chest rising and falling. The nostrils flaring. The belly expanding. We already start to begin to bring a little gratitude for our breath. For every breath that we take, we should be grateful. A bit of gratitude to our body and the things it allows us to do. A little gratitude to the time that we carve out for our practice. Gratitude that we are here in this moment, alive, healthy, happy, safe. Gently we start to flutter our eyes open, and we're going to come into our first pose, which is our butterfly pose. I'm sitting on a cushion here. I have a pelvis that does not like to fold forwards, and so I always feel in a lot of forward folds that I'm just not getting that momentum that then the torso allows me to sort of hang down with. And so I like to sit on something. You don't have to find what works for you, but bring the soles of the feet together. And again, I want you to play around with that distance between your pelvis and your feet, because the pose could be here with your feet closer to the pelvis. Maybe for you somewhere A little further out works better. Maybe a lot further out works better. And as you come to fold forwards in the pose, take your time and notice where feels right, because where you should be feeling this is on the inside of your thighs and your groins. And eventually, when you come to the full expression of allowing yourself to roll and hang in there, you're also going to feel it along the spine, maybe in the lower back, maybe across the shoulders, maybe the neck and head. So as you start to fold forwards, you notice where you're feeling it. Where is the right spot for you today? I'm going to be here 5 minutes. Allow the palms to be soft. Try not to force yourself down lower to the ground. Just get to wherever you are today, and that's perfect. You allow the neck and head to hang, and if that doesn't feel good, grab something to support it. Maybe if you have a block or a pile of books. Otherwise, you can just keep looking up every now and again to release the neck and then come back down. But once we've found somewhere that works for us today, we start to let go and release into the pose. And we bring our awareness to our gratitude. And the first thing I'd like you to think about is the gratitude for our health. We are here, we are healthy. How grateful are you for your health? When so many people in this world struggle with their health, remember to be grateful for yours. To relax the body, try to not engage the muscles so that the stress can go to our deeper tissues, our connective tissues, our fascia. Grateful that we have so many incredible practices even while being at home that we can do to maintain our health. Allow the breath to flow in and out naturally. Don't force, don't manipulate. Just allow yourself to be healthy and grateful. About 1.5 minutes to go. If at any point you feel like you've had enough of being in the pose, feel free to come out before I've called a time. Need to increase or decrease in this last minute, also feel free to do so. taking one last big inhale in, and slow exhale out, and really slowly exiting the pose, using your hands, your arms to slowly walk you back up. You can just come to lie on your back. Allow yourself a moment to feel the effects of the pose. Notice any sensations, any tingling, any pins and needles, any numbness, any temperature. Slowly we start to wake the body up again by bringing movement back to our fingers, our toes. We stretch our arms overhead and pointing and flexing the feet. Knees can come to the chest and feel free to sway or rock a little side to side, and then rolling back up or coming to rest on your side. And coming back to a seated position. And we're actually going to come into a melting heart pose here, and I'm going to use my cushion to help prop my elbows and my arms here. So we're going to come into our tabletop, knees more or less under the hips, arms more or less under the shoulders, but again, play around with that because it's going to feel different for everyone. And then we're going to start to slowly walk the arms forwards. We're coming into a sort of melting heart here. We're trying to open up the chest. You might feel the stretch in the armpits. Now I have my arms supported because I feel it allows just a little more space so that my face doesn't get squished in this pose. But if you prefer to do it without, please do. I'm going to be here 4 minutes. Now, one of the things I love to do in this pose, once I've played around with the width of my knees, the width of my elbows and arms, is then I like to bring my hands together in the prayer position, and I bring them behind me. Once I've found somewhere that's comfortable, I start to let go and relax. Soften the body, soften any effort you might be making. And we start to think about how grateful we are for our homes. During this time where we've had to spend a lot of time in our homes, how grateful are we for them? Roof over our heads, place where we can retreat and be safe, protected. If you feel this a lot in your shoulders, it would be the compression of your shoulder blades. That's not a bad thing, as long as it's not causing you any pain or discomfort. softening, keep letting go, and keep the gratitude in your heart for your home. Just over halfway through. Taking one last big inhale in. And slow exhale out, and really gently coming out of the pose. I like to take my rebound in a child's pose here, bringing the knees together, and just allowing my spine to round, the arms come behind. I feel the effects on the body. Slowly bringing the movement back to the fingers and toes. Stretching the arms in front, coming to sit up. As we move into our next pose. And in fact, we're going to move, I like to move into this pose from a tabletop position because I find that coming into a tight shoelace, which is what we're coming into, can be tricky from a sitting position. So what I do is I bring my right leg so that the knees are sort of in line with each other. I bring the right leg onto the other side of the left leg. Then I come to sit. Now the knees should be more or less stacked on top of each other, but don't worry if they're not exactly. Mine aren't. Doesn't mean I don't get the stretch. Also, if this feels incredibly uncomfortable, if you're feeling any pinching in the thighs as you start to come into the pose, feel free to open it out a little bit, maybe bringing the ankle on top of the knee instead. Finding somewhere that's comfortable. We're going to be here 4 minutes on both sides. And so I'm going to throw in an extra addition of eagle arms here, which I kind of like to do. So we have our right leg on the top here, and we're going to bring our left arm underneath. So we bring our left arm under and then around again. If you can't bind with the two hands like this, don't worry about it. Even if the palms are back to back, that's absolutely fine. And then we start to fold forwards into the pose. You're going to be feeling this on your glutes, your right glute, maybe along the side of the thigh, and then the opening at the back of the shoulders also. Soften into the pose, and then start Thinking about how grateful you are for your family, for the people that have been around you, even when you haven't felt grateful for it. We've all been living on top of each other. And so maybe sometimes it's been tough. We've had to be flexible and work around each other. Remember to be grateful for the people that have been in your life, the family that have supported you, that have helped you, that have challenged you. Soften into the pose and soften into the gratitude. Less than a minute to go. Are you still grateful? Taking one last big inhale in, and slow exhale out, releasing the hands, really slowly walking yourself out of the pose, releasing the legs and come to lying your back, just to take that moment to feel the effects. Notice any difference between the sides. Notice any movement of energy, of blood flow. Slowly starting to wake the body up again, bringing movement to our fingers, our toes as we stretch across the whole front body, bringing the arms back, pointing and flexing the feet, holding onto our elbows if that feels good, hugging the knees to the chest. Feel free to sway and rock and move, but eventually we come back up. We're going to come to our other side. So again, I'm going to start on my tabletop. And I sort of bring that knee in the middle a little bit. The right knee this time, as the left knee comes over that right knee. as I come to sit into my shoelace. You may notice that I look very different on this side than the other side, and so might you. And that's just how it is. Our body is not built the same, one side to the other, and so we can't expect our poses to look the same one side to the other. It's all right. So find what works for you, and again, if you're feeling a lot of pinching here, feel free to open the pose up a little bit, maybe bringing the calf onto the knee, maybe bringing the ankle onto the knee. This time for our eagle arms, we're going to be bringing the right arm under and around the left as we come to fold forwards. Again, we'll be here 4 minutes. Use those first few seconds to play around with what feels right. Sometimes it takes a while. Once you've found somewhere that works, you start to release, start to soften. Then you bring your gratitude to your friends. I know a lot of us haven't seen our friends for a while, but with our technology these days, hopefully we've been able to keep in touch. FaceTime, Zoom, phone calls. So let's be grateful for our friends, the people that put a smile on our face, people we share our struggles, our lives with. And let it soften and let go in the pose. Of all those friends you're grateful for. Less than a minute to go. Taking one last big inhale in and slow exhale out. And just gently, slowly releasing the pose and coming to lie on your back. Noticing, feeling the effects on the body, on your heart. You feeling any of the effects of the gratitude that you've been holding on to? Has it lightened your spirit? Our last pose for today is going to be done lying on our backs. And so it's just about bringing the soles of the feet together. We're going to be in our reclined butterfly here. Now I'm going to use my pillow this time to just prop the feet up a little bit higher. That can feel quite nice for some. Make sure again, like at the beginning of our practice, the principle is the same. Play around with that width between the soles of the feet, between the feet and your pelvis. Does it feel better if it's a little further out? How does that affect the stretch? Again, we're looking for that stretch on the inside of our thighs onto our groins. So where that's going to be right for you is not going to be the same for me. So play around, find the right pose. When I'm here, I like to have my hands on my belly. Maybe one hand on the chest, the other on the belly. I'm going to be here 5 minutes. We start to soften and let go in the pose. And we bring our gratitude to Mother Earth, to the nature around us, whether it's a small peek of a view out of a window or gardens. Maybe we're growing something, some seeds. Maybe it's the rain, maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's the ocean, the trees, the forest. Maybe it's an animal, whether our own animals, our own pets, or animals outside. Whatever it is, bring your gratitude to it. Offer your gratitude to that. Be as simple as just gratitude for the air that we breathe. The air that we feel on our skin. Allow yourself to be soft, to be effortless. Make sure you're not engaging the muscles too much. If you feel like your legs are fluttering up and down a little bit, know that it's okay. Some people get this more often. Certain times it feels more intense. Just try to soften into it. It's your opposite muscles trying to pull your legs closed again. But just allow that to soften. Put a smile on your face. Let it happen. It's okay. Taking one last big inhale in. Slow exhale out. Use your hands. Gently bring the legs back together. Just extend them out. Allow yourself to let go. Allow yourself to feel. And allow yourself to express gratitude to anything else you might feel you need to express gratitude to. I am so grateful to be here, to still be able to teach in some way to you guys. It's a great opportunity, and I am so grateful for it. Slowly we start to bring the awareness back. We bring some gentle movement to our fingers, our toes. We stretch our arms overhead, pointing, flexing the feet. Bring the knees to the chest. A little sway from side to side. Coming to rest on your side. And slowly coming back up to a seated position. Sitting tall. Shoulders relaxing down. Jaw and eyes are soft. The deepest of gratitude to yourself, your body, your breath, your practice. Bring our hands to our heart and bowing our heads. Releasing the hands and gently lifting the neck and head. Namaskar. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you carry the gratefulness with you throughout the day. Thank you.